warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Here we will present the result of our group work on policy in education sector during the pandemic in Lampung province. We will introduce ourselves. My name is Refyliana. Yoka Ahmad Fauzi, rofiq assalam, firsty yusdanissa arismunandar, Enmo Situmorang, Ahmad, Risdan, Ardiansyah. Okay, let's start the presentation. Do you know what public policy? Next.
Okay, I want to tell you about definition public policy. David Evanson, a system analysis of political life. Definition public policy as the possible allowance of power to all members of society. In the ectopodia of policy studies, Laswell and Kaplan state public policy is a problem of activate goals falls in treated office. According to Anderson in public policy making, public policy of policy development by government, agency, and officials. Thomas Ardian in Understanding Public Policy states public policy is what the government chose to do or not to do. So, public is a government policy that activates everyone in a country of states of policy in general.
New normal or a new life order in the education sector in Lampung province were carried out gradually and not in a hurry with the consideration of the coronavirus disease 2019 or COVID-19 pandemic. The imposition of face-to-face teaching and learning activities is carried out after the COVID-19 pandemic has subsided, which is expected to be early in 2021. The principle of learning is to prioritize health and safety for students, educators, educational institutions, and residents around the place of education. Then, related to the opening of educational units or schools, the regional government still has to wait for a decision or direction from the central government. He hopes that this week or next week, the policy will be issued by the Ministry of Education and Culture of the Republic of Indonesia.
There were several points conveyed by the Lampung regional government. First, the final semester assessment, which is not carried out in the form of a test that collects students. The assessment can be carried out in the form of a portfolio of reviews, reports, and achievement, online test assessment, and or other forms of remote assessment. Second, the implementation of admission of new high school or vocational high school students and special schools. PPDB registration, implementation of file verification for new student candidates. Announcement of PPDB result, new student registration lists are carried out online during the PPDP implementation. Class 10 and 11 students have school holidays, or students do not do the learning process online students. Okay. Next.
Third, the implementation of new admissions for kindergarten or elementary school or junior high school levels is regulated by the agency or city government according to the calendar academic. Fourth, the distribution of final semester report cards is carried out online. Schools send student evaluation results via electronic mail or WhatsApp. Fifth, the stipulation on starting school or implementing online learning will then be determined by taking into account the development situation of COVID-19 in Lampung province or following the national decrees by the central government. According to our group, the response to this policy is that government policies in the education sector require careful consideration to impose face-to-face learning in the new normal area.
And in our opinion, if a new normal is implemented in the teaching and learning process, it must be adjusted to each area related to the spread of the coronavirus. If an area has been deemed safe, it is possible to apply the teaching and learning process on condition that it complies with health protocols. Supposedly, the Ministry of Education and Culture should immediately make a national emergency curriculum during the pandemic. This is because the 2013 curriculum this is currently used is no longer suitable for the pandemic because it is burdensome and confuse teachers, students, and parents, especially when studying at home, studying at school only a few days a week, or when studying online.
The Ministry of Education and Culture must also immediately present a national emergency culture textbooks in form of a book and broadcast material. The aim is to make it easier for teacher and student to learn and make it easier to share with various parties. This national emergency culture for early children education, elementary school, junior high school, and vocation high school. In the national emergency culture, the Ministry of Education and Culture makes online learning present by the best national teacher that can be accessed national, and the Ministry of Education and Culture as the city, district education office and the provincial education office to create online class with an emergency curriculum served by the best city level teacher, district, and province. All students in cities, regions, and province are required to take online learning conduction by their respective education office and may take part in learning at the national level. Okay, next.
In this online learning, there are theoretical explanation, question exercise, homework assignment, and discussion of homework question so that parents are not bothered by discussion homework from children. Evaluation tests are carried out by the city, district, or province online to measure children learning success. If this system is implemented, teachers do not need to create online class in their respective school as the case today. This greatly saves cost and quotas so that the fund can be asked for other teachers who do not teach online will have a special assignment. In our opinion, there need to be an adjustment in learning and the delivery of material from the Ministry of Education and Culture, such as learning for general subjects still exists, but the portion is reduced to that it is easy to everyone studying at home, at school, and online so that it does not bother teachers, students, and parents. In this online learning, there is a theoretical explanation, practice question, giving homework, and discussion homework question so that parents are not bothered by discussion homework from children. Next.
Okay, well that's the presentation from our group. We end. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.